Alright, BobalosRex here. And today, we're talking Gallywix. Now, towards the end, I may ramble on some stuff, but I do want to focus on the end of Gallywix, alright? And why I don't think it's completely the end, but it's the end for now. His mortal life has come to an end. From what it seems, right? At this point, y'all should have done the story campaign. Sorry if I spoiled it now. I should have said spoilers beforehand. But the title is spoiling it, because it's Gallywix's fall. So, we all know he's done now. Sorry if I'm the one to tell you. But either way, he's done. We saw the mech fall. We saw what looks like a body. You would imagine if he was still around, he had to go. He had to run away if he somehow escaped. But that seems unlikely. Because he could have stopped kicking the dang machine. Gazzo was even like, bro, chill out. We'll just take your money. And Gallywix was like, I'd rather die than lose my money. And so once you do that, you do a whole thing. There is a little side quest that I do want to talk about, where you go pass on the casino. It is going to go to Gallywix's nephew that seemed pretty cool, Rosebud. But then he got exploded. But then now the casino's a co-op. It's owned by the workers. I'm like, that's crazy awesome. So, not only do we have the fall of Gallywix and power returning to the cartels, 'cause I did hear some people, like, someone's always going to say something stupid, so I don't know how many people thought this, but if you think Blizzard making the goblins a council now is too many councils, bro, they were a cartel. They were divvied up through cartels, which is an oligopoly, basically. Gallywix came in, was running it like he's the boss, so he basically became dictator, right? And then the cartels come together, kick him out, liberation. But it's back to the oligopoly that they kind of had going with the cartels and the leaders. But all these new leaders do want to treat goblins right. They want the best for goblins. So I think goblins are going to be in a great place. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, because I want to talk about Gallywix's fall. So let's start off with Gallywix himself. So I know everyone wants to put him in Revendreth. I see so many things. Oh, he's a Dreadlord. Oh, he's in Revendreth. Well, it don't look like he a Dreadlord. I didn't want him to be a Dreadlord. I didn't think he was a Dreadlord, and that seems to be the case. Not that I don't like Dreadlords. I just don't think Gallywix himself should have been one. Going forward, though, I don't like this idea of him going to Revendreth. Should he have gone to Revendreth in the proper Shadowlands thing? Yeah, probably. Like, maybe he gets there, Pelagos, the Arbiter, is like, yo, you're on to Revendreth, and Gallywix is like, yep. Looks like I'm going to Revendreth. Pulls up to Revendreth. Second he's out in Revendreth, brokers pull up. Be like, yo, he's coming with us. And he goes, yo, Revendreth, it was nice. Peace. And then he fucks off and goes to hang out with the cartel of the Afterlife. Because what's even crazier, one of the bad guys in the storyline here says, I'm going to send you to Tazavish. Because here's the thing with the Shadowlands. The cat's out of the bag. We know some of the places, and the fact that the one dude mentioned Tazavish, we've seen Gallywix in Tazavish, I think it lines up to my thought process, aka the reason why Gallywix was in Tazavish in the first place. Once you know about the Shadowlands, and you are a money man. You're an inventor. Because apparently he's a good engineer too. You know, he helped Zalatath fix the dark heart. Well, he also does know how to force people to work for him. You know, Noggenfogger figured out with the Kajamite stuff. Kajamite and Black Blood stabilizes it. They were able to use that to fix the dark heart. But I think he got his afterlife in order, because every mortal creature, or he would see it this way, everything's gonna die, even himself. He don't want it because he want money, but how does he get his afterlife hookup in order? You join the afterlife cartels. Think about this, right? We go through all those Shadowlands, right? What cartel was messing around? If you didn't know what cartel was messing around, there's a bunch of cartels. There's Cartel Venari was from, Cartel Vant. And then there was the cartel Farim used to be from, like it was called Cartel All, because his name was All Farim. So there was a bunch of these cartels, right? The main one that was basically the cartel that was the venture company, we're to say, because venture company is used in that way a lot, but we'll talk about them in a bit. So Zymox, right? Cartel Zy. Always causing stuff. He popped up there, but here's the thing. They didn't only pop up in the dungeons. Where was Zy causing a ruckus? The other side. Zyxa. Alright. Who was causing stuff? In Tazavesh itself. So you got Zoe. Zoe was kind of like the enforcers. And then you got So. You know, maybe he could have been teaming up with So, but I do... Oh man, I can't remember what cartel he was talking to. But he feels like a Zy cartel thing. And here's the thing. Zymox got away the first time, right? Then he sold this stuff. He ain't get away the second time. We killed his ass. And he was like a bigwig in Cartel Zy. Yo. There may be a new up-and-comer in our, Cartel Zy that may want to be lead. Come Shadowlands 2 in like within the next 10 years, maybe we got Shadowlands 2 when it's Zy Galley. Alright, that's been my theory. I may have talked about it before. But yeah, I don't think he's... I think him and Tazavesh in the Tazavesh little talk, that was him getting his afterlife in order. Will we see him again? Who knows? We'll see if we ever go back to the Shadowlands. What's cool about this is you see how he changes his design based on the stuff. Like, I would love to see like a short little broker that's Gallywix style. And be like, yep, we know where he went. Alright, so that's kind of my vibe for Gallywix. If somehow he got away, maybe maybe Zalatath did pick his ass up when his ass got his ass beat. She's like, you know what? Now that he's at his lowest, I can use him. Because Zalatath is a user, a lot of these recent villains are user. But that's something I may save for another lore rant, or I may talk about at the end of this. But that's Gallywix's deal. You know, he helped out Zalatath. There is this interesting thing. He helped out Zalatath because he cut a deal. The deal he was cutting with Zalatath was she gets the device fixed, he gets Black Blood, and it gave him all this tech, right? Him using the Black Blood and figuring out the Kashmite thing gave him to make these weapons, basically run, like, become a dictator of Undermine, okay? Kind of like what Ansurek did. So, that was his bargain. What's interesting is that he had anti-ethereals. So either Zalatath was using ethereals, which in the pre-expansion event, we do kind of see her use, or there were ethereal attacking and Zalatath was involved, right? So we do see some ethereals working for Zalatath. But you also see her mainly using, like, whole other places. So right now, she was using Gallywix. Earlier, she was using Ansurek. She's used player characters, she's used trolls, she's used Dark Irons to further her goals, okay? He thought she was Team Ethereal. So, you know. But it turns out there's other ethereals. And Gallywix thought all ethereals are the like. Mm-mm-mm. But anyways, okay, so let's talk about the cartels now for a little bit. Goblin cartels have returned to power. Undermine is free for the most part. We got Bilgewater. We got Gazlo in charge. And maybe he's going to be a big part in Undermine. Will we see him? I guess he's ditching Ratchet. Or maybe he's going to head back. He's like, I helped Undermine, but I still don't like the big city. I'm a country horde goblin kind of guy. Sassy can run the Bilgewater branch here. So we got Steamweedle, Noggenfogger, of course, but remember those guys run Gadget Zan. Dude, they have the technology now. They can make Gadget Zan this one day. I still dream. The dream still holds. This was great. This scratched the Gadget Zan Hearthstone vibe that I was wanting in WoW. This was great. So yeah, Noggenfogger, Alchemist, he doing good. He got his wife back. They doing good. They all about potions, right? Then we got the Blackwater Cartel, which is now a formal cartel, not the Blackwater Raiders. They're the Blackwater Cartel. Transportation. Are we going to see Bilgewater Port open back up? That was the Goblin Starter Zone. Are we going to see Motherlode redone up? I'm hoping down the line we do see some updates. Similar kind of how Belemeth got updates, but Belemeth hasn't got any updates lately, but it did get one update. I would love to see some Undermine updates. But let me finish talking about the cartels. So, Venture Company. Grimla. She's awesome. First Trade Princess. We need to see it. Goblin Heritage 2. Venture Company Reforged. We even see the Dark Fuse, which were the Black Fuse, which are just the Bruisers. And now they're doing market research. So they're like, hold on. How about we get in on this? So who knows what's going to go on with that cartel? They're changing over a new leaf. Or are we going to see someone new use them to be their... basically bruisers, man. That's what they've been. And then Venture Company may turn over a new leaf. Maybe Venture Company's going to go green. Alright, we'll have to see. So, what else? I would love to see Undermine expanded upon, right? This is the Goblin Capital we've asked for. This is literally, in my opinion, the best patch zone ever added. This should be used going forward. Like, Blizzard is silly if they don't send us back here, if they don't add to this, they don't do things in Undermine, in Midnight, in Last Titan, in Beyond. Us being able to come back here and do something silly when goblins be acting up is gonna be 10 out of 10. I'm telling you. I think they should not squander coming back here. Open up the casino. Yo, we can have minigames in the casino. Dark Moon Fair minigames, step aside. We got Galagio minigames. Okay? I don't know if they're gonna put gambling in WoW, but who knows nowadays, you know? Maybe Gazlo would have an issue with it being too crazy, but, you know, I think it'd be great to have some minigames or something in the Galagio. I thought there was a race course in the Galagio, and there wasn't. I was lied to. We should be able to drive around in there crazy style. Yeah, expand Undermine's Rocket Way. You know the Rocket Way down over here? I'm still thinking they're going to expand it. I'm still thinking they're going to expand the Rocket Way. You know, as we're working up the rep, our Intercontinental Hotel, they need to expand that. When we get housing, why can't we do something with the hotel? Alright, what's this Rocket Way? What does this drill connect to? The other side of Undermine? This is downtown. Yo, that. We need that. We need that. Where's that? You know, we got 2 drills. Undermine needs more. Imagine the rocket way somewhere else. But yeah, this should be expanded. We got 2 here. Where does this one go? Anyone talk about this one? No, he don't even talk. There's another drill. There's another drill. Out of order. Vibes are off. Maybe not use this one. Maybe not use this one. But we got 2 more drills. We can go places. Okay, so I definitely want to see Undermine expanded, personally. I would love to see Undermine used as a Goblin starter zone. Maybe down the line. You know, we saw Dragonflight turn into leveling content, like, immediately after. Dragonflight is leveling content right now. So, after the War Within in Midnight, Goblin starting zone? Option? Like, imagine Goblins getting that. I know it'd be like, yo, what about all the other races? Okay, true. I think some more starter zones should open up. We already get the choice, so it'd be like, Goblins can choose Bilgewater Port, Exile's Reach, Undermine. And you do the Undermine campaign. That would be so fucking cool. A story mode. Dude, it ends in a raid versus a dungeon, kind of like Exile's Reach. That's so good. I think that's so good. I think they should consider that. Oh, Undermine also needs a bank. It doesn't actually have a bank. That's kind of crazy to me. Undermine should have a bank. You know? So... yeah, Goblin Heritage 2, Blood Elves got a continuation. This whole patch is basically Goblin Heritage 2. I would love some... I feel like Goblins should get a special quest. Goblins should have got a special quest. Goblins get a lot of special stuff in this city. There is a lot of special little goodies. You know, gnome Easter eggs too. But I do think Goblins should have got extra quests. Like Goblin Heritage 2. Something like that. But maybe we'll see it down the line. You know, Undermine is now open. So we got a lot we can do here. And like I said, I think it's one of the best cities, best zones they've done. Period, in my opinion. So they should not sleep on this zone going forward. Now, I do kind of want to save the rest of what I have on this paper for later. Because I did talk about goblins enough for this lore rant, in my opinion. But I do, since I touched on it, villain motives matter, right? So, I'm going to save this till next week, but I'm going to talk about the Xal'atath stuff. I think I'm honing in on her complete motive, because her motive does seem to differ from the ethereals that we're seeing, right? So, we have those ethereals, we have Xal'atath, and then I want to talk about Eridikron, because his motive is purely anti-Titan. His motive isn't blow up Azeroth, he lives here. That's stupid. He likes the earth. No. He's kind of... you could argue he may be pro-Azeroth, but we don't know. But he's not going to blow up his plan. He worked with Xal'atath for a long time, and I feel like most of us thought this, but I'll just talk about for myself. We thought Xal'atath was the Harbinger for Dementius, and I think she was the Harbinger of Dementius at one point. Being here now, being stuck here now, I am starting to think maybe she isn't pro-Dementius, and instead, you know, is pro herself. Iridocron, pro himself. When you get these evil villains that are pro themselves, they become smarter. So Xalatath has already used us a couple of times. Knows she can't really use this a lot, but knows we are an instrument to get things done. Iridocron knows we are an instrument to get things done. These Ethereals, what do they know about us? They've been watching us too. They probably know we're an instrument to be done. So, or instrument to be used. So, where do all these players go here? Xalatath and Iridocron may be on the same team, so I no longer think she's pro-Dementious. Now, and maybe why she's mad at the Ethereals is because she's pro herself. Maybe she was going to use the Dark Heart. Maybe she had to keep using the Dark Heart on more stuff, because what we see the Dark Heart do is it's like it absorbs stuff, but it can also release the energy, right? So it absorbed Dalaran. It absorbed Gallywix's energy. It was trying to absorb Void Belladar energy, because that's the energy she wanted for it. And we've also seen her release that energy. Exploded Dalaran. Is she trying to absorb Dementious? Are the Ethereals that now took the Dark Heart are now going to work for Dementious to bring him here? I'm going to try to write some more down. I mean, you know, maybe I can finish it here. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm thinking we may get Dementious as a final boss of whatever raid we have. Maybe it's going to involve the World Core. Maybe it's going to involve Belladar. To me, there's two... We can get a full Koresh zone or raid. We can get a World Core zone. The only time we could get a World Core zone is right now. So that's why I'm kind of thinking we get a World Core zone in a Koresh raid with the last boss Dementious. The Ethereals are trying to bring him in because they're pro-Dementious. Or they're trying to take over Azeroth themselves, and they're gonna... Because I'm trying to think what the Ethereals want to use the Dark Heart for. So either they're using it pro-Dementious or anti-Dementious. So are then... But if they were anti-Dementious, all they gotta do is come to us and ask us for help. So they have to be against us as well. So they're against us, against Xalatath, or Xalatath does not want them with the Dark Heart. She wants the Dark Heart. And it's like, okay, so what do we do? Is Xalatath going to help lead us to them because she knows using us to go after people is a good idea, but she can't do it directly? Or, you know, there's always the chance that she's just messing with someone because they're still the Black Blood. They're still the Black Blood. Like, that's still all over the place. Or is that cut content? So next week, we're going to talk about some more of the, like, loose ends in Khazalgar. But as far as motives, it is very interesting to see what these Ethereals do with the Dark Heart, because we either see it absorb or release energy. We kind of know what it's absorbed so far. So either the Ethereals go back and try to absorb Belladar, which we have people there. It's kind of weird if we do the same thing again, you know, this time with Ethereals. But part of me can see, you know, think about Dragonflight. What comes in 0.7? We have the Nightfall patch, then in 0.7, what do we get? We're going to get Void Surges, and then it's Koresh instead of the Emerald Dream, and it's Purple Time, which could be fun. But I'm really hoping Koresh is the raid, or I think Ethereals are the antagonist. Most likely. Could. And the only character, Ethereal side, that has enough juice, in my opinion, to be a final boss of an expansion is Dementious. Or Xalatath herself. So, either she gets the Dark Heart and then we fight her right there at the end of the raid. Which they could do. It could be a Xalatath fight. And then she escapes. Right? Or a Dementious. That's where we're at. But, again, the Ethereals got the Dark Heart now. What do they do with it? But we'll talk more about some loose threads next week. There's a lot to think about. But we'll know soon enough, because as soon as 11.1.7 is announced, we know 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, what 11.2 is. Because the 11.1.7, the .7, gives the game away. Right? Think about Siren Isle. We got Siren Isle. It was goblins. Rowena was doing stuff. We did the Lingering Shadows quest, and it was just like, yeah, it's goblins. It's goblins. It's goblins drilling. We know it's goblins. There was a lot more leading up to goblins. There was a lot of stuff leading up to Ethereals and the World Core. But again, one can be his own, one can be a raid. So we'll have to see. More on that next time. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.